That's Stephen Larson. He does ClickFunnels and he does coaching for there. That's the way he always starts his videos, so I thought I'd do that. Dachaha washa Michael Larson, washa Neiman Depungyu. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Larson from BBC IML, and this is a Moment with Mike. So I came across this article, this is probably a couple years ago, but I thought I'd share it again. It's really pretty good, but it's a conversation between a daughter and her father. And daughter asked, "Daddy, how come things get so muddled so easily?" Father says, "What do you mean by muddled, honey?" Daughter, "You know, Daddy, when things aren't perfect. Look at my desk right now. Stuff is all over the place. It's muddled. And just last night, I worked so hard to make it perfect. But things don't stay perfect. They get muddled so easily." Father, show me what it's like when things are perfect. She responded by moving everything off her shelf into individual assigned positions. Daughter, "There, Daddy, now it's perfect, but it won't stay that way." Father, "What if I move your paint box over here 12 inches? Then what happens?" Daughter, "No, Daddy, now it's muddled. Anyway, it would have to be straight, not all crooked the way you put it down." Father, "What if I moved your pencil from this spot to the next one?" Daughter, "Now you're making it muddled again." Father, "What if I left this book partially open?" Daughter, "That's muddled too." Father, "Honey, it's not that things get muddled so easily. It's that you have more ways for things to get muddled. You have only one way for things to be perfect." So I was thinking about that story today, and there's so many things that come into mind. And often this is what we do in our lives. We want things to be a certain way. And all we do is focus on when it's not exactly like that it's a failure. And we might already be winning and don't realize it because what we're looking for is perfection. When we set goals, a lot of times, this was an issue I used to have. When I'd set goals and at the end of the month, maybe I didn't quite reach the goal and I'd get frustrated by that. Well, I should easily reached that goal. And instead, I get frustrated by it. Instead of looking back at what I achieved, I was only focused on getting to that one goal and not realizing, well, geez, there's time to get there. I should be happy with what I achieved. Yeah, we want to reach our goals, but perfection is not attainable. You know, people are not inspired by what they expect. They're only inspired by outstanding. And perfection, outstanding doesn't require perfection. It just has to be more than what people would expect or more than you would expect. So you want to make sure you don't make your scorecard so difficult that it's almost impossible for you to reach. Lots of things come into mind on this. I think about marriage, and I think about a couple coming together. And think about this. If both people in that marriage were actually perfect, if they were both perfect, if you already have perfection, is there any room for growth? To me, that would make for a boring marriage or a boring relationship because you wouldn't be able to grow together and learn new things. Everything would be already attained and you wouldn't have anywhere to go. So what a great way to have a great marriage when you can grow together and you can focus on that, but not look for perfection. It's never going to happen. Strive for outstanding, but don't get to perfection. So when I'm working, one of the things, and this is always I am a little bit of a perfectionist, so this is always kind of a struggle for me, and it's been a struggle for me recently because you don't always have to be perfect. First of all, whatever it is that you're good at, you're superior in that. Whatever you have passion in, you're superior in that. And you're already better than most people in that thing. Now, other people, like I talked about last night, are already superior in something also, and they don't have to be perfect to be better than you in that particular moment. So we don't necessarily need perfection for people to learn. And if you're striving for perfection, like I've already said, you're more than likely going to be disappointed. And if we're focusing, remember last night we talked about the two parts of the conscious mind, acquisition mode and survival mode. And if we're happy and we're inspired and we're excited and we're positive thoughts, we're in acquisition mode and we're learning and we're using our whole brain and we're at our best when we're doing that. But when we're frustrated, then we get into survival mode. Fear and worry and frustration are all tied to death, and that's survival mode in our most basic mind, in our prehistoric mind. So it's a far different approach to things. For instance, that can go so far. If you're always frustrated and always angry, when your mind thinks that death is imminent, and if you're always in those modes, it takes away everything from you to protect you from that possible death. In fact, it's so powerful, it'll stop your immune system. So people who are angry all the time or frustrated all the time will likely get sick much easier also. And so be careful. Be careful what you put out there as perfection. It's unattainable, and you don't need it. You really don't. Outstanding is enough for you, and it's enough for everybody else. Now, we should always be growing. We should always be trying to grow, and that's where acquisition comes in, acquisition mode, but we have to be passionate about what we're doing and how we're growing. And when you do have a weakness, once again, when that one thing is stopping you from achieving, that is your potential superpower. And if you can overcome that, then you can be even more outstanding and achieve a lot of the things you wouldn't normally achieve. But always look back at what you've achieved over the month, not at what you haven't achieved. Put that out there for your next goal easily and try to achieve it every month. But if you look at what you've achieved before you decide it was a failure. So a little shorter live with on Facebook here tonight, a moment with Mike. But I hope this finds you well. Have a super fantastic evening, and we will see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Thank you very much.